What's up, guys? My name is Brad Smith. I am the host of Trading OTCs. I am part of the TechBud Solutions team, where Ricky Gutierrez is our leader, who leads the entire TechBud Solutions organization. I primarily instruct and help educate folks on OTCs. What are they, and how to trade them, how to profit off of them. So coming at you today in my Jeep, because I was going to do this outside because it's beautiful outside, but damn it, it's windy. Yeah, so you're just gonna have to deal with it in here, and I'm extremely busy tonight, and yeah, just gonna have to get this done right now. So I wanted to talk to you about level 2. What the heck is it? Why do we need it? Does it help? Is it really that important? Yes, and yes. And what is level 2? Level 2 is a tool that you would use to view, the buys and sells on any particular stock, particularly by the market maker. And so let's go ahead and get started here. I know that you love looking at my beautiful face, but we're just going to have to deal without it right now. And look at this. So here's the ticker IMTL. IMTL is one that we've been looking at within our chat group here. And actually, just to kind of give you an idea of how well we're doing on this stock, even though it's down today a little bit. One of our traders yesterday made his first trade ever on an OTC on IMTL yesterday, and because of our excellent networking group, he was able to make $5,000 on his first trade ever trading an OTC, which is pretty awesome. So here's what the platform that I like to use. It is the TD Ameritrade Trade Architect. I personally find this the best tool platform when doing any kind of analysis. You can see here I use Bollinger Bands as my primary indicator, which I do have a video on this if you're curious about how to use Bollinger Bands. And over here is where we have the level 2. And you'll see over here this bid here and this ask here. Now this is what we call the spread. So the spread here is right now 0.291 and 0.032. So you have market makers, which are these symbols here. And basically what they are is they're big banks. They come in to sometimes manipulate the market.
Our job tonight actually is to scare people to death on this subject.
Sometimes, to free up the stock, make it more appealing or not. So what they do is, what their primary purposes is, they trade in between this spread. And that's how they profit.
Shut up and take my money.
And you see them all here. So, for me in particular, the closer that I see the spread, the more appealing it looks to me. Now, why am I saying that? I'm saying that because the bid, if you're in a stock and you want to sell it, the bid here is what it's going to sell for. So if you're holding and the price per share is at 32, the only way that you're able to get out of it at this point is if you sell it at 29. So you're going to take a little bit of a hit if you sell it at this price point. Now, if it's closer, the closer this is, the easier it will be for you to get out at the price per share. So the ask is going to be sitting here at, 31.9. But the only way you're getting out of it is if you sell it at 29.1. Now, this is how those market makers make their money. And they profit off of you and me when we're trying to get out of something or buy into something. And basically, that's how that works out. How does this help you? Well, when you're looking for something to get into or get out of, you want to make sure that you're looking at this spread. And again, this is just my opinion, but this is how I work it, and I've been able to find success in this way. So in no way am I telling you this is what you have to do, because sometimes if it's a huge gap, if it's gapping up, that just means that the stock is extremely volatile, and maybe you don't want to get out of it at that point. But sometimes these spreads can be much wider than this. Sometimes you'll see this bid at 2 cents, and then you'll see the ask way up at 5 or 6. So if you're holding at 5 or 6 cents, the only way you're going to be able to sell out of it is if you sell it at 2. That's kind of what I was getting at when you're looking to try to trade a stock, especially on a day trade. You may want to consider looking at something that has a much tighter spread. Now, this bid size here is the amount of shares. Typically, you want to add 2 zeros to that, and that's the actual bid size. They don't want to be putting all these zeros on there to kind of confuse and make it hard to read. So just kind of think of it as, adding 2 zeros onto this, and so this is 1,000,000 shares. The bid size is 1,000,000 shares at 2.0291. Okay, and so that's kind of the basics right now on level 2. Again, I can go into this a little bit more detailed if you guys would like me to, but that's basically, I wanted to get you an understanding as to, like, if you're a beginner and you trade something and you see the price per share, for example, this one at 32, and you're like, well, wait a minute, I just sold it. Why didn't it sell at 32? I was up, by a bunch, and I sold it, and it looks like I lost a bunch of money. Well, that's because you sold it at this bid price. So I wanted you to get an understanding of that before we go into any further detail on it. Okay. All right. So why are we talking about IMTL? Just wanted to go over this real quick. So let's see here. IMTL is the reason that it grabbed my attention was because they've been making some noise here lately. And if you go here in Investors Hub, again, this is one tool that I use. If you go into Investors Hub, there's a lot going on here. Company comments on Facebook, Facebook's recent acquisition, basically talking about the importance of image copywriting and that sort of thing. This is what this company does. They protect people who copyright their images from it being counterfeited and that sort of thing. And so what I'm showing you here is when you go to otcmarkets.com. Again, I have a video on this on how to find particular stocks, how to do your due diligence on a particular stock for OTCs, because it is kind of difficult to do sometimes when it's not being traded on the 3 major markets. And here it's showing that the Form 4s that have been released. There's 8 Form 4s that have been released in less than a month. Now, what a Form 4 is basically the CEO or executive officers are disclosing how many shares they buy in a stock. Now, why is this important to us? Well, it's important to us because when you're making a decision to buy into a stock, if a Form 4 gets released that a CEO or executive officer buys a ton of stocks or a ton of shares, that kind of like tips you off to say, now why are they buying that? Why would they buy that if the price of the stock was going to go down? They could be aware of a merger that might be taking place, an acquisition, a buyout, something like that. So then those executive officers would go in there and buy X amount of shares. As long as they release it to the public that they bought those amount of shares, it's completely legal. So there's no insider trading going on that you may have heard of with, what was it, Equifax or something? I don't know. But there was a huge scandal going on with that. Huge sell-off of that CEO. He's a super sketch dude at this point. But so yeah, that's why it's important for us if we're looking to buy into something. And you see all those Form 4s that have been happening here recently, and there's a lot of them that's going on within a short period of time. That kind of tips me off to think, maybe something's coming up here. Obviously, this stock had low float, has low outstanding shares. All the signs are there that this is a good company to buy into, and that's how I made my decision personally a few weeks ago to get into this, and I've been talking about it since then in our chat group, and and a lot of us have been able to capitalize on it thus far. I don't believe it's done up to this point, but we'll see. Again, I'm not telling anybody what to buy into. I'm just sharing what I do, just basically so you can kind of maybe learn something here or there, which reminds me, if you learn something and you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like it. And if you are new to TechBuds, or if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I encourage you to go back and view all my other ones that help you out on how to trade OTC stocks in the very little known kind of what's the word I want to use? Little known, just a little known market. And sometimes people are afraid of that because they don't know enough about it. But my goal here is to at least educate you guys enough to be able to understand it and maybe make a little bit of money along the way. So again, if you're new, I will provide links down below to Ricky's channel, Connor's channel, and Kyle's channel. They all specialize in different parts of the market and different types of trading. Highly encourage you to check them out. I will also provide links to our Facebook group within TechBud Solutions. We are 50,000 members strong and growing, and we have a really close-knit, awesome group of networking individuals who are all looking to obtain growth and just learn about trading in general. And yeah, that's it. Guys, I appreciate you for everything you guys have been doing here within our group and beyond. Thank you so much for watching today's show. That's all I got for you today, and B. Smith is out. My hands are. Whoa. Whoa.